Do you have problems? Do you have issues? Listen to Lake Malice. We're gonna sort them out.
I am here today with the wonderful Lake Malice. And this is an interview for Hive magazine just before their show with the Covey. So, without further ado, let's get this started. First and foremost, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, good. Yeah, man.
Really
Yeah,
good.
sick.
I had a really,
We're on a buzz. Yeah, we had a great show playing with the Covey last night in Bath. Like the crowd was like just absolutely wild. So it's always good when you get such a responsive crowd because you go with such a buzz. So like yeah, it's the last show of the run with them today. So it kind of feels like, you know, when it's like the Sunday of the weekend. Yeah. You know, and you kind of like, you don't want to go back to school. It kind of feels a bit like that.
But it's a Thursday.
Exactly, yeah.
That is Thursday.
Yeah. Oh, no, I mean, from what I've seen, you guys have been absolutely killing it on this tour. And you've been killing it, like,
Thanks, man.
pretty much all of this year, because you've been touring, like, non-stop. But you did have humble beginnings, and like many of us, you guys started and survived and thrived through lockdown. So how does it feel growing at like such a rapid pace?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think like it feels great, and it makes you very grateful for all the opportunities. But at the same time, it's quite challenging because if you get all of these opportunities, but you don't have, you haven't built much to it yet in terms of like fan base, etc. It becomes really hard, especially financially, you know, kind of to fund everything ourselves, being independent, etc. So I think that's the main challenge. However, it does feel great to be given these opportunities based on the fact that we started writing music in lockdown and then we were straight off into gigging. So it was awesome.
Yeah, like I think the pace at which we've, I guess, had opportunities come our way is really quick from starting the project up till now. Obviously, we've done quite a lot. And like you say, it's kind of a bit... it's kind of hard to adjust, I guess, to all these new things. You know, like for us in terms of musicians, we're experiencing a lot of things that we've not done before in the industry. Like me, definitely, I've not really had many experiences prior to this at this level, so we're kind of learning as we go about the industry, and it's mind-blowing, because we are just blown away by everything that comes our way. It's amazing, but at the same time, it's like, whoa, we need to like maybe wise up quickly to things like financial aspects and things like making sure we have enough time to to get the writing done and who we're going to work with on this and that and the other. So it's a bit of a whirlwind. And obviously we both work full-time jobs as well, so that's like an extra layer of sort of stress sometimes, making sure that you fulfill your job requirements and things. And it's a bit, it can be quite chaotic.
I've definitely been there. I know exactly how it feels to balance a full-time job with what you guys are doing. And like you said, it is hard to kind of figure out things as you're on the move. Like you've been touring basically non-stop, but you've still released, 3 singles this year so far?
We've done 2 this year.
Two this year.
Two so far.
Black Turbine last year.
Yeah.
Turbine was the tail end of last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's more coming.
That's what we want to know. Like,
Thankfully.
I mean, firstly, how do you manage to fit that into your busy schedules, and like, how do you find inspiration to write whilst you're on the move all the time?
So I think we we write at home and we record at home too, and that makes it very easy to fit it in the schedule, because then we can. It's a double-edged sword, I guess, because on one hand you have it all there and it's disposal to you, like you have your equipment and everything, but at the same time you don't book that time and then tell yourself you have to do it. So it comes with like having to like force yourself and be very like very hard on yourself and be very like, just don't know how to describe it. Like just, what's the word?
Yeah, it's got to be
determined.
It's got to be like discipline, really. It's
hard.
Like sometimes you just want like, like a weekend to just do nothing basically, just absolutely vegetate. But we're just like, no, like we've got to get these vocals done or whatever it is, and it's a bit of a grind. But like at the same time, you know, it's so obviously it's also worth it because in this project we've actually got like a clear path to that music being heard by somebody, you know, eventually, like, you know, in terms of like a fan base, be it not a huge one, and that's an absolute privilege, like, and something I'll never take for granted. So I work harder than I've ever worked on music now because I know that like it's surmounting to something, whereas before in projects I've like none of my stuff's ever seen the light of day, you know. I've spent like countless hours in my bedroom, like kind of tweaking, mixing and whatever, and it's just never seen the light of day. So, you know, that knowing that it's going somewhere gives me that inspiration and gives me that drive to sort of work harder than ever.
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, you had been developing and working and producing music through lockdown, and like I said, you got new songs coming up. Is this possibly the start of an album for Lake Malice? Or is it too early to call it that yet?
You want to dodge it?
I think it's a bit early for us to sort of like announce like, you know, those sort of plans, but, you know, we are working towards like a body of music because like we feel like it's right to put out something, you know, that's more than just the sort of the single here and there. But like in terms of what that is, we're not quite ready to sort of like share those plans just yet. But
yeah, I think like a body of work has to have a purpose, if you know what I mean. And because we were so recent as a band, we've been looking for this purpose while doing music. So that becomes, as we write music, it becomes clearer. And I think now that we have a few songs that actually match certain topics and certain sounds, then we are moving towards definitely releasing a body of work, whether that's going to be a mixtape or an EP. I think like, you know, it's going to come quite close this year. Like it should happen quite soon. But talking about album, yeah, that's like a further like milestone to me. Like,
I think because we're obviously being independent, like funding an album can be quite a daunting thing as well. So, you know, like obviously a dream for me is to put out an album, but in terms of where we are career-wise, in terms of where we are financially, and all those things, you know, the circumstances aren't quite there for something like that yet. But you bet that's coming, like eventually. Like, cannot wait for that. That's going to be a monumental moment for us.
So much drive. Like, I know it's going to happen. It's a matter of when.
Bless you.
Yeah, and I'm really excited for it as well. And like you said, so your fan base, you know that they expect more, and you know that they're going to be rewarded with more. And you guys are really close to your fan base. I have the honor of being part of your Discord.
Yes.
I've seen all the craziness that keeps going on down there. I mean, what does it feel like having such a tight-knit community? Because it's such a rare thing to find these days.
I find it amazing. I think it's like the best thing that comes out of music is creating a community, isn't it? Like it's the whole point of it. If you share art in order to like you know, communicate something and express yourself, and if those people can relate and make friends out of it as well, then it's even better for us. It's like a little family. It sounds very cultish. It's a family.
It is, and you have you've tied people together across. I mean, in this post-lockdown world, obviously a lot of people can now communicate via things like Discord and online, and a lot of memes get generated as well, as I know. So, here's my one question to you guys. Can we see a tomato reference happening in Lake Malice content at some point?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's got to be done.
100% it's happening.
I think it's part of our DNA at this point, isn't it? The tomato thing's going to stick.
Oh, no,
possibly along with a couple of other weird things that are coming out.
Like if I could, I would put every single meme we create on the Discord on a t-shirt. Like if I had infinite money, I'll just create merch based on stupid nonsense memes that we create. And I want to do one with tomato stuff, like 100%.
It still blows my mind to see people walking around with that, like, Malice, that's like the funniest thing ever. When I see that t-shirt, I'm like, how is that a thing in the world?
It's an old YouTube meme, nobody knows, but it's awesome. It's
stuck.
Oh yeah.
Let this go on record. I will buy a tomato t-shirt. Like,
you heard it first.
It's gonna happen, and you guys need to put in your pre-orders as well.
Pomodoro.
No, it's great that you have jokes like that within the community, but obviously your material material and that is very serious. It talks about a lot of mental health issues, as well as commentary about stuff like just going to a party and feeling a bit anxious. And I think that is quite similar to the kind of content that Vukovi makes. And I think, like you've said before, that...
Are you saying topics that are serious? And
your topics are quite serious. And I think, Blake, you mentioned that you're quite inspired by Vukovi.
Yeah,
as well.
big time.
What is it like going on tour with them now?
I still feel starstruck every time I see them. It's really bad. I should be like, because I was like, oh, it's Hamish. Oh, I'm gonna throw up. Like, no, I'm not that much of a fanboy, but yeah.
He's gonna watch that back and be like,
he is, yeah. He's like, oh. God, they're cringe, aren't they? They're taking them out on tour again. But no, genuinely, it is weird because we formed the project during lockdown, and it was during lockdown that I had sort of, I guess, like a bit of a musical revolution, and I want for a better word, of what I was, getting inspired by, and like, yeah, Vukovi were one of those bands that were like super at the forefront of that for me in terms of like, what they were doing in metalcore, and like. It's an absolute privilege to be here supporting them on tour. I think we've played with like a lot of the bands that actually inspired us to start this project already, which blows my mind. And it's just it's extremely humbling to be given the same like platform as them and share the stage with them.
Definitely. I think one of the things that a lot of us have discovered now is that music isn't as distant as it used to be, and like having that connection to people, like knowing that you can go to a show and actually chat to a musician and they'll be happy to chat back, is such a reassuring feeling. And I think it's just going to make the music scene, especially the alternative scene, a lot more of a friendlier space.
I agree.
Which is really good. So, I'm going to wrap this up because I'm aware that their sound check is finishing and you've got yours coming up.
No worries, man.
So, for anyone who hasn't heard of you guys, like you said, you're still growing at the moment. What would you like to say to them to convince them to listen to you guys?
Don't listen to us.
Do you have problems? Do you have issues? Listen to Lake Malice. We're gonna sort them out. No, sorry, that was silly.
Try again, shall we?
Let's try again. I think it would be fair to say that we do talk to people who feel like they can relate to us in a way. So if there's people out there who feel like they're struggling to find their voice, struggling to find confidence, and somehow relate to any of the things that we talk about, but also just enjoy, energetic blend of, genres. That's another thing that I will say to those people. Yeah, we were your thing.
Yeah, I would agree. I'd say like if you're open-minded with like metal, and you like metalcore, but you also feel like metalcore maybe could just be doing something a bit more, be incorporating a bit more into it. You're basically, if you're like someone that likes where the alternative scene is going right now, I think possibly will be your cup of tea as well. We've got lots of heavy stuff going on, but we've also got lots of like pop and hyper pop inspired stuff. And we're kind of like, I feel like our niche is kind of just a bit of everything in a way, isn't it? But still like quite grounded in that serious sort of like metalcore sound. So yeah.
Gotta be ready for weird stuff.
Yeah.
No, only certain of that. And for people who do know you guys, as we know, you've got like a very cemented fan base. What kind of message would you like to leave with them?
Oh my God. You guys are just the best fan base ever. You're so fucking stupid. In a good way, you know what I mean? Like just I just call them stupid. No, sorry, what's the word?
Silly?
Silly.
Silly is a better word. Yeah, oh God, please cut that off.
She's not English native. We'll let her off.
You're so fucking stupid. No, you're so fucking hilarious. That's what I want to tell them. Like, I think like you are just, the kind of people I will hang out with. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know why you listen to us, because I am like, I feel like, to me, we're just two people making stupid music. But the fact that you do like it, and the fact that whatever it is you like about us as artists, that is extremely humbling. And we want to do whatever we can to make you feel appreciated. So stick with us, and we'll obviously we want to put out as much music as we can, and hopefully at some point we'll have like a headline tour and we can have an awesome party.
Yes, and a mosh.
Yeah, and a mosh.
No one will stop the party then.
Exactly.
Finally, just to wrap this up, could there be more music videos for your community to get involved in? Like, again, you're already involved with them, so if there's any opportunities for them to get involved with, is that something that people can be expecting and looking forward to?
Yeah, why not? I mean,
it was
love.
so rewarding, wasn't it, doing Stop the Party?
Yeah.
Like, having like people actually turn up, like at time of their own day to go and just like doing a music video is not like as fun as it sounds. Like it is quite laborious. So the fact
Stressful.
that people are willing to do that is like mind blowing and really.
I think
privileged.
like if there's anything that encapsulate that again, that feeling of unease in public settings and like group settings, it will make sense. But also even just like recording making a video about live shows and stuff like that, which is an integral part to our the Malice experience, I think will be cool. So yeah, definitely, we'll love that.
Yeah, well, I reckon like we'll probably look at doing like just Discord meetups and stuff at some point.
Yeah.
Even if it's not music videos, like ways of just engaging with everyone and just like, because like everyone's so sound on the Discord, like it's just like you just got a bunch of mates that like, basically it's just such a nice feeling knowing that that's there. So we'll do more, I reckon.
Yeah.
Well, that has been Blake and Alice from Lake Malice, and this has been a Hive interview. Thank you so much for taking part in it, and I can't wait to see you guys up on stage.
Thank you so much, dude.
All right.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.